Yo, what's good, man? It's your boy, Vacation Time with Ryan. Man, oh man. Wow, senores. I got a story time for you guys. Now, this story is not of my own. You know, it was a crazy story. A subscriber, shout out to you, that gave me, and he wanted to share. Now, he chose to remain anonymous, so we're just gonna call him Jake for the sake of the video. So, Jake, all right? So, appreciate you, Jake, for this story. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you guys think about this one, all right? So, brother Jake here, 33-year-old truck driver. He's a 33-year-old truck driver, all right? So he meets a young lady on Tinder. He's never been to the Dominican Republic. He's heard about it. He's seen videos. He's seen some of my videos, seen other YouTubers' videos. So he heard about DR. He want to go to DR. Cool. Goes to swipe it on Tinder, meets a nice young lady. Now, one thing he said that stood out about this young lady was he said she looked like Rihanna. So he was like fascinated by her looks. He said she looked just like Rihanna to him. He said, if not better. So anyways, so he meets her. They're talking. He said he watched some other YouTubers, so he kind of knew about some of the stuff to look out for. So he did say he met some other chicks. They didn't make the cut, but this one was different. She wasn't asking for money. The connection was there. She would talk on video, and he would get on video chat with her. Few red flags I picked up, but I'm just gonna tell the story, and you guys could say what you will. So, he doesn't speak Spanish. That's tough. Her English was very, very basic. Not good, but cool. I mean, you already know. So boom. So you get on video with her. You know, they would use a translator sometimes, and sometimes with her English, they'll struggle. But he said the vibes was there, though. He said the vibe was always there. She would talk a lot on video, and it was always good vibes like that. She has a daughter. Again, she's 22. She had no job. So it got to a point where eventually he started sending her about $50 a week. And he said he felt like that was right, based on, you know, what he thought was normal to do when you have a girlfriend that's overseas. You know what I'm saying? So cool. He's sending her bread before he meets her, by the way. But at this point, he said they're boyfriend and girlfriend, right? Before he gets there. Yeah, I guess we all have an origin story, right? But anyways, let me get through this. All right, cool. So boom, vibing, talking on video every day. He said, texting, all of that. And he's stacking up money for a vacation to go see her. All right, so a couple months go by, talking every day, sending $50 a week. Eventually, he gets the time off to go see her for a couple weeks. All right, boom. So he goes. She meets him at the SDQ airport. They go back to the Airbnb. King treatment, the whole nine. Everything was going good. You already know the king treatment. Rub your feet, rub your back. Hooking up, having a great time, cooking, cleaning, all of that, in which blew his mind because he wasn't used to that, right? All right, so by now his trip's going good. Everything's going good. He took her shopping. They went to go shopping. Got some stuff for her daughter. Got some stuff for her. So she decided, like, okay, can we go to my place where I live to drop the stuff off? And he said, of course. It's cool. They agreed. You know, he wasn't gonna meet her daughter or her mom or anything, like her family. Her mom was supposed to be watching her daughter the whole time, the whole duration of his trip. So she's gonna spend the whole trip with him, her mom watching the daughter. So everything cool. All right, bet. So they get back to the spot now, right? So they get back to the spot to drop the stuff off for her and her daughter and everything. So they got a little comfortable. Long story short, they start hooking up. He said, like, so as they're in action, getting it in, right? He said he started hearing the door. Like, he started hearing the jingles of the door. And since he figured, it's her crib or whatever, they was getting it in, like, in the living room. So when he heard the door, like, they both jumped up or whatever. And he said a man came in with her daughter. Now, he never met the daughter, but he's seen, she showed him pictures and she posts on the story all the time. So he knew right away this is her daughter and this is a man. And he was under the impression that her mom would be with the child. So many red flags going off in his head. Why does this man have a key? Who is this man? Why does he have her daughter? So automatically he thinks that's the baby daddy, probably a husband, probably lives there because he has a key. So he was like mind blown, but at the same time, he's in another country and he doesn't know if this man knows about him. So it was just, he was scared, to say the least. He was scared. He just wanted to get up out of there and keep his life, basically. So this is the part where, this is why you know Spanish. This is why you need to know Spanish. This is just me talking now. So anyways, continuing the story. They're arguing in Spanish. They're going at it. He said she was livid. Like, he didn't understand what she was saying, but she was yelling and all of that. And they're going back and forth. And, she got her hand covering, her body, but, she hadn't got dressed yet. So she got dressed. She got done arguing with the dude, and they left together. She was like, let's go. They left together, right? So obviously he's wondering what the heck was that, and why are you leaving this dude in your crib or what? So boom. So on her way back to the Airbnb, she's trying to like assure him that this man is a family member, right? This man is an uncle to her, and he was doing her mom a favor by coming to the crib to grab some stuff for the child. And she said her mom got a key to her apartment. So he said he didn't know if it was true or not, but he said, he's just gonna believe it for now because he has no evidence. So he said, all right, cool, it sounds believable. And then she said she was cussing him out because she was like, why didn't you tell me you were coming to my place? I had a guest over. You wasn't supposed to see that, basically. You weren't supposed to walk in on that. So whatever, she smoothed it over with him, took him back to the crib, to the Airbnb, finished what they started at her crib, and obviously he was happy, right? He was enjoying himself. So they enjoyed the rest of the trip. They went out to eat. They had a good time. Cool. So boom. Now she takes him back to the airport, and he goes on back to the United States, back to work, right? Cool. So everything was smoothened out. That situation was behind, and he found it to be like, okay, she must have been telling the truth. So he said he was still sending her the $50 a week. Over time, he said he noticed a few red flags. So he said one weekend she straight disappeared for the whole weekend. And that's crazy. But so she disappeared for the weekend. She came back on Monday and told him her phone broke, right? So he said, so how are you contacting me now? She said off of her friend's phone, her friend allowed her to sign into her WhatsApp to use her phone. So he's like, why did you wait 2 days to do that? And he said, she said she couldn't find anybody and she was just at home and Ray, right? So she comes to him now and says she needs a new phone. He's like, how much is the phone gonna cost? He doesn't really have any, he's telling her he doesn't really have any extra money. what he told to me was he was just saying that because he was like, he knows that he felt weird about it. So eventually she's like, that's the only way you're going to be able to communicate with me. But if not, here and there when my friend's over, I'll call you or I'll text you or whatever. So he said he did it for a couple of days. He thought about it, and then he said, oh, what the heck? Let me buy her a phone because, maybe she's telling the truth. So, of course, she doesn't want any old phone. She wants a newer phone. She says she might as well upgrade. She had the iPhone 12, so he upgraded her. So he got an iPhone 13. So it was over $1,000 to say that, just to be real. So he got a brand new iPhone. This is crazy. Anyway, so he got a brand new iPhone. Boom. That was the first punch to the gut. So he figured, it's his chick. This is going to be his lady. They talk about having a family, getting married, all of that. So he told her he doesn't want to move her to the States. He wants to move to DR. So they knew the plan. And he was like, they talked a lot. So it was cool. So boom. Gave her the money. She got the phone. All of that. All right, cool. So now fast forward a little bit. So a few months later, and mind you, he's still sending her $50 a week all this time, right? So now he's like, instead of him going to visit, he wants to move there, right? So he didn't see her for a few months because he wanted to stack up money, move there, and work remotely. Remember, he's a truck driver, right? So he starts trading, he's studying trading, he's doing his thing. He's day trading, he's doing his thing. So eventually he retired from his job early, and he had a date where he was gonna move to DR. So she suggested, right, that they get an apartment together, because her apartment's small. So she went, looked at some apartments. She would show him videos of apartments. She found one. She said she was in love with it. Fast forward, she wanted it. He was cool with it. He liked it. He liked the videos and all that he saw, right? So she said her credit is shot. She can't deal with the apartment stuff. She said he's going to have to sign for it. But the thing about it is, as a foreigner, he has to pay 6 months. That's what she told him. So he was like, all right, cool. And there was another guy that spoke English that he would talk to from time to time. That was the realtor, right? The real estate agent. The dude sent over some documents that he could sign electronically. He signed it, and the 6 months came out to over $6,000. So he sent like $6,500 to her, right? So now, he's excited. He's about to move to DR. He got his place set up. It's a nice place because if you know a little bit about DR, you can get an apartment for like $500 a month. So for him to spend over $6,000, it was a nice place, right? It's cool. So he's ready. Got his, thousands of dollars saved up from his truck driving job. He's doing day trading now. So still talking to her every day leading up to this trip. Everything was cool. So now, boom, time to go. He gets to the SDQ airport. Same deal like last time where she was supposed to pick him up. He calls her, no answer. Calls again, no answer. So he thought, okay, maybe, she's in traffic or whatever. And this time he had bought her a new phone. So the last time she disappeared, he was like, okay, could this have happened to her phone again? Nah. So he called again. All right. Waited 30 minutes, had a drink at the airport, called again. Hour went by, called again. Now he's a little bit worried. He's thinking like, man, what if she got into a car wreck? What if something crazy happened? That's what he said he was thinking. So eventually, he just took an Uber and went to the Airbnb. So he had an Airbnb set up until his place was supposed to be ready. They said his place would be ready in like a week, right? It would be ready for him to move in like a week. So they had an Airbnb for a week. All right, so boom. At the Airbnb, calling, no answer. So he had the address in his GPS. Like he still had her address saved from the time where he went to drop off the stuff. I don't know if she knew that, but he said when she gave it to him on the GPS, he just saved it, right? In his Google thing, in his Google Maps. So he's like, man, should I go over there? He was low-key kind of scared because she's staying in a barrio, right? So he went. He was like, you know what, whatever. I'm going to go. So he goes over there to the barrio, to her crib, knocks on the door, no answer. Knocks on the door, no answer. Knocks on the door, somebody comes to the door. It's an older man. And the man was just like, basically, no hablo inglés. And then he said her name. And then the man was like, no. Like, basically. So they eventually pull a translator out, and the man's like, basically said, she don't live here. And he was like, do you know her? He's like, I don't know who that is. She don't live here. She's not here. And he's like, wow, that's odd. So he came back. He said he came back the next day to look. He didn't see her like outside or anything like that. So he's going crazy. He's like, what the F? You know, obviously he got played. He's looking at it like he got played. Obviously in the back of his head, he's thinking, could she be in some trouble? Could she be in a hospital? But he's thinking, man, he probably got played, right? He tried to find him like a Dominican connection to see if anyone like knew of this girl, right? So he's asking around where she lived. Nobody seen this girl. Nobody knows this girl. He ain't got her mom's number. He ain't got nobody else's number. So eventually, he did have an address for the place, right? Because they gave him this whole thing to sign. And so he went over to the place. He went inside. It was a tower. He went inside, and he said, hey, I'm supposed to be moving in here on this day with this person. He gave her the girl's name, his name, all of that, the address. And they said, no, we don't know who this person is. And no, we don't have no place for you. We didn't get no payment, none of that. The other guy who was talking to him in English, that was supposed to be like the real estate agent or whatever, he also stopped answering his phone. So, poor guy, man. So I guess so when he also stopped answering his phone, he just realized like, man, I got scammed. So he ended up just taking the L, man. He extended his Airbnb and ended up going back to the States. He said he stayed in DR for like a month, met some other young ladies, just had a good time, and then just went back to the States and restarted his life back over. But anyways, so there's a lot that can be taken from this story, right? And he's cool now. He's living in the States. He's doing his thing. He's thinking about going to Colombia or another country. So, but there's a lot to take from this story. There was a lot of red flags and everything like that. When you're going to any one of these countries, man, whether it's Colombia, whether it's DR, Brazil, or Costa Rica, Panama, anywhere, you want to know, like I always say, you want to know someone that lives there or that travels frequent. You want to get in the communities, get in WhatsApp groups and the men groups, like have somebody that has boots on the ground or, you know, that just travels frequent that could give you advice. Because while you telling someone that's experienced this type of stuff, they're going to be like, oh, nah, brother, she's playing games with you. But anyways, yeah, that's his story, man. So the phone she got him for, the $50 a week, I mean, he did go there and enjoy a trip with her, so I don't know if we're calling that an L or not, but the phone was definitely a big L. And then, obviously, the over $6,000. So, yeah, she got him probably for over $7,000, because between the phone and the moving stuff. So, listen, I love the Dominican Republic, beautiful island, but you guys got to be careful when you're dealing with people that need money and they're, you know what I mean? Like, they're great people, but I'm just saying, like, be careful, man. Scammers exist in every country all over the world, from the United States off to Africa. Like, they're everywhere. Scammers are everywhere. People that lie are everywhere. So it's we're not going to make this a Dominican Republic thing. But brothers, man, be smarter. When you make it, so if there's someone out there, you talking to someone and you're new and you don't, please make friends in the community. Join my group. I got a WhatsApp group. I have a men's group. I have a group with actual Dominicans in it. And you know what I'm saying? I got 3 different groups. So join one of mine or join someone else's group. Do a consultation with, it ain't gotta be me. Do it with someone else. The point is, don't go over there just off the strength of the girl you talking to. Have somebody else on your team that could, you know, when things happen, you get their opinion. You know, sometimes you need someone else to talk sense into you while you're going through things. But anyways, man, hope you guys enjoyed this one. I thought it was crazy. Like I said, I usually tell my own stories, but this was just kind of crazy, and I wanted to share with y'all. It's your boy Vacation Time with Ryan, man. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and obviously hit me up on the back end if you want to get in one of the groups or if you want to book for the August 31st event. Peace.